welcome to the Mealing Racing YouTube channel.
Hey guys, Garrett from Mealing Racing here. Today we're going to do some cam gears. The head on the car has been milled a couple of times, so odds are it's a little iffy on where straight up is on the cams. It's Brian Crower 280s in there right now, and I actually don't know who makes these. I got them used, but they look, I don't know if it's focusing. They look decent, and I'm gonna maybe try to degree them. Whether I get that done right now or not, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Worst case, I'll get them in there, and then when I get time, one day I'll try and degree them so that I know where straight up is, and then maybe next time we're on the dyno, I can adjust. I can adjust for the power band, get it to spool sooner, maybe rev a little further, or vice versa. See how it works. Anyways, we'll get into it. Alright, we're going to get the driver's side motor mount out so we can get at everything here. Got to get all these stupid plastic covers off, which are awful. I don't know if any of you guys work on DSMs much, but we're working on these things. Those timing covers are awful. They're always broken. They always rub on the belts. Part of me just wants to not run them at all. I know guys that don't, but I catch flack for just not running the top cover, but the amount this thing runs, not because of so much the reliability, but just I only race it a few times a year. The risk is pretty low, I think. Alright, so I got the car supported underneath just with a block and a jack stand. There's the engine mount. Pro tip, I'm going to crack the cam gears before we undo anything else because it'll be harder to do it later. So now we'll be able to pull those off once everything's undone. Got some helpers here. Just gotta slide him under the car. Ready? Alright, there. He's helping out over here. The other one's learning how to drive the race car. Nice work, Everett. And I'm getting down on this thing. I got all the covers off. Oh, sorry, I'm in the shadow. All the covers off, pulleys off in there. So this will go pretty quick now. Just got to get things apart, bolt the other ones on, and then retime it. And then I'm still deciding whether I'm going to try and degree the thing. Oh, Mel! So if you're timing one of these cars, these two marks right here need to be lined up, and the dowel pins need to be at the top. And on these factory cam gears, the 2 dots is the exhaust and the 1 dot's the intake. My new ones here don't have that. And then underneath here, you need that notch on the crank pulley lined up, and that one on the oil pump lined up. And when you're doing it, it might take, I can't remember how many turns it takes of the whole engine to get these both to line up at the same time, but obviously I line them up before I take things apart, and then when you go back together, you just put it back together.
So you can buy one of those DeWalt ones for Home Depot for $1,000.
So I'm just pulling the
belt,
pulling the hydraulic lash or hydraulic tensioner out of here, and then we'll flip the belt off, and then we'll be able to swap the gears and put the belt back on. Alright, so we got the belt off, we'll pull the gears off, put the other gears on. Got a little bit of help. UK Dave's here. Or Dodgy Dave?
Dodgy Dave.
Dodgy Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty good, but he's a little dodgy. So these look a little better than the stock ones. Kind of pretty, if nothing else. I'm gonna have to paint these shitty looking bolts black. I have the threaded tool to do this properly. Just put it in a vise, turn it super slow. You don't want to blow up the hydraulics. And then, I don't know what size drill bit this is, but small. Drop it in there. Once it falls through, then you just put it in and pull the pin when you're done. And you can do it in there with the tool, but I had the tool and stripped it, so no more of that. It's probably good. So that's what that looks like once you got the bit there. It'll go through all the way. And then we'll put this back in, get the belt on, and pull the pin on the grenade here. So I actually have a tool that goes in here to hold these, but it's at my dad's house. So I'm going to use the old zip tie method, and that'll hold things where I want it, and then we'll get the belt on in the bottom here and pull the pin on the tensioner. Alright, so we got those lined up real nice. And then under here, you can see the crank timing is where it needs to be. The oil pump timing is where it needs to be. I believe the oil pump timing doesn't really matter when you don't have a bounce shaft in there. So that's something to pay attention to. I have no bounce shaft, so that changes a little bit of things. She's gone. So now that all that looks good, we can pull the pin on the tensioner and then turn the motor over a few times and make sure everything looks alright. Okay, so the belt's in there. Turned it over a few times, everything lines up. And then you take a 1.150 or to a 0.177 in the hydraulic tensioner. And it just fits in there like a feeler gauge. I'd like to tell you that I did this 2 or 3 times, but I got super lucky and this was exactly right the first time. So we're gonna leave her and call it good. Well, we got her back in there. Dave's tightening things, that's handy.
Everyone loves it when I tighten some nuts.
True. And then we'll have the belt cinched up here. And you may notice that I left this busted ass piece of my timing cover off because when we're on the dyno it'll make it a hell of a lot easier to change where these gears are at. I am going to degree the cams, but not today, so I'll do another video on that. And we'll get this engine mount back in here and the cam gear install will be complete. Alright, we got new cam gears in there. They're there. Dave helped. Drinking old milk, perfect. Anyways, we'll do another video when I degree this thing, and then I'll show you guys how to do that. I don't really know how to do that. I gotta figure it out myself, but we'll do our best. For right now, the cam gears are installed straight up, and when she's on the dyno, maybe we can make some changes and see what it does. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit subscribe, hit the bell. Let me know what you think in the comments.